Good morning. Hello. How are you today? Come on in. Grab a chair. Have you got your tea with you? Welcome to the SHAC. We're early this morning. It's only 5 to 10. So there's plenty of time. All the front is empty. Come on in. Lovely sunny day in Crowborough. Lovely fluffy clouds, blue skies. We're so lucky to live in the southeast of England. Good morning, Sue Dezelski. Look, I can't believe this. Good morning, Susan Young. Good morning, Sheila Stokes. Can you believe this? Right, we're 4.5 months in. Pauline, look, I can see you. This is like mind-blowing for me. I've been working with these ones, which are quite close-uppy ones, so I can see my artwork, because that's what I use my glasses for when I'm working close up, okay? And when I'm working really, really close up, you know, I've got my Dame Edna's, haven't I? My real, like, Coca-Cola bottom ones. So what I'd forgotten is that I bought these. They're prescription ones. All these are cheap readers. These are cheap readers. Oh, Amazon. So I bought these ones years ago. And therefore, when I'm on the telly and I'm standing that far away from the artwork, it's really clear, you see. But it's got a bit fuzzy, so I kind of gave up on them, because as my eyes have deteriorated, it's got fuzzier and fuzzier. But look, Christine, I can't believe it. I can actually see what you're saying. So be nice to me. Catherine, Teresa, look at this. Look, this is the first time. Good morning from a dull north east Scotland. Is it? Sunny Worthing. Hello. Morning, cold and damp here. Is it? It's lovely where we are. Ken Kilminster, good morning. Time to swim with the fishies. Absolutely. Do you see? Isn't it ridiculous? You know, and I had these. See, I can't. That's fine like that now. I've had these all the time, all along. And now the weirdest thing is I feel like I'm part of the crowd, because I've not been able to see what you say, probably for the best sometimes, eh? But now I can actually see what you're saying, which is really, really amazing. So I hope that everything is all right with you. I'm just checking now who's with me. I think it's Stuart this morning. So the sound is very good, he says, and Stuart's in the building with you. So if you've got any questions at all, then direct them at Stuart, and I shall be changing my glasses so I can see what you're saying. Isabel, it's raining, you say. Well, golly, where are you? In fact, where are you all? Hey? I feel this is really exciting for me, because it's like I've had a cloud over my eyes, and I know you're all there, all my buddies are there in the SHAC, but I couldn't see what you were saying to me. And now I'm so excited that I can actually read what you're saying. Isn't that super? Well, it is for me. For you, you're all chatting among yourselves anyway, aren't you? Look, look, look. Norfolk is nice today. Greetings from Cornwall. Raining in Shropshire, is it? Do you know, this SHAC really reaches out quite a long way, doesn't it? Now, when I'm concentrating on the artwork, though, on our actual doodling, I might not always look. So don't get offended if I don't respond. But that's why Stuart's in there with you. He'll be happy to help you. Good morning, good morning. This is so smashing. See, because the camera's so far away, the computer. Morning from sunny London. I know, Ange. It's nice down here, isn't it? So this is quite liberating. This is? Okay. What's the time? See, I can't see the blimmin'... This is where it gets interesting. So I can't see my phone. So I'm going to go... it's 10 o'clock. Well, good morning. What shall I do now? I'm going to poke myself in the eye, I know that. Good morning. Welcome to the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. Now, I don't know about you, but I woke up this morning, before we start, I woke up this morning and I was actually despondent. That's the word. I was despondent, and I'm not a despondent person. I don't do that, you know. It's very rare that I get despondent. Despondent as in low, you know. And I thought, this isn't the first day either. It was yesterday, it was the day before. So I have to spend ages you know, as soon as I get up, talking myself into a good frame of mind, a better frame of mind again. And you know that we can do that, can't we? We do have that capability. But then I thought, well, why am I despondent every morning when I wake up? What is it? What's going on? And I think, and I think that I'm not alone in this. It's because this pandemic, there's no end, is there? You know, when it started, we assumed there would be an end, didn't we? And what we're being told all the time now is not only is there not an end in sight, but it's going to get a lot worse. And so I think it's that's messing with my head, you know. And once I accept it, it'll be fine, and we'll be back in the SHAC, and it's comfortable and safe, and we know what we're doing, don't we? We know what we're doing. I think we do, you know. And so, but it's just this interim period when we thought that there was going to be an end. Most things, you know, like my neighbour, pain in the neck. Now he's, you know, if he's not chipping away at his garden gate, drill, he's on his roof. You know, he's like, he can't sit still, and so he's constantly chipping and drilling and hammering. But you know, it's got to end at some point, even with him. That it's definitely finite, you know. But with this, it's just something that we've never had before. It's unprecedented, as they say. And so this without end situation that we're in. And also, it's a dangerous one. It's not a niggle. It's not a bloody neighbour with his drill. You know, he's just an irritant. This is dangerous stuff, you know. And so it's wearing. And if it's wearing for me, it's wearing for you. You know, and again, we say we're in this together. Is that a comfort? It is to me, I guess, you know. But also, I feel that the only way that I can handle this, and this may be of use to you, it may not be of use to you, that one day at a time thing, like my blog, one day at a time, everything. You remember when it all kicked off in March, April, it was like one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 10 o'clock, we're going to hang on to this hour, and this is what's going to give us our structure, you know. And the bottom line is, I've got to wind it back in my head, and I've got to go back to that place, and I have to have my discipline again, because I've forgotten to get my yogurt every morning, my bucket of yogurt. I'm sort of letting it slide. And why am I letting it slide? Because we're relaxing the rules, and because we're relaxing the rules, it's all kicking off again. So, you know, you put 2 and 2 together, and you think, right, okay, back we go. Let's accept this is the way it is. We can't control that, but we can. What we don't want to do is be despondent on top of all of this, you know. That won't change a damn thing. So that was where I was this morning, and I'm pretty certain that if it's affecting me like this, it's affecting you like this. I know a lot of you will be. I'm no different, you know. I'm just an average person. And I know that I'm not special, and I'm not super intelligent, I'm not super stupid, I'm just right down the middle of the line. And if I feel like this, then so do a lot of other people. And so for me now, it's one day at a time, it's the SHAC, it's safe, happy and creative, and we just got to keep the faith, you know, just keep the faith that this will pass, but just not as soon as we thought it would. Mm-hmm. And on that note, one day at a time, one doodle at a time, we may as well just relax into what we know in this little SHAC community of ours, and let's do some doodling under the sea. We're under the sea this week, aren't we? And so, do you remember yesterday we were looking at the plan, weren't we? And we did those fish, which tickled me pink, I have to say, right? So I did mine. I did mine on a bit of copy paper. How about you? So. I know I'm starting on the tracing paper thing again, but the only way I was able to transfer them to there without having to redraw them was, and I've shown you this before, but I'm going to, just for the uninitiated, all I did was I needed this, because I drew it, and I needed to put it on there, and I put it behind there, like that, and then I need a light, don't I, from underneath. And what I did was I take my light wave, which is never far away from me, it's right there, and I put it on there, and then I put light underneath, look, and then, see, cannot see, picture. Oh, hang on, 1, 2, 3. And then I can see exactly where the line is, see? And that's how I transferred my fishies here to my tracing, to my copy paper. So I draw on the tracing paper, then I transfer. And that works for me, you know? Or, you know what we did the other day, where we go soft. This is if you haven't got a light wave. You go soft on the tracing paper, don't you, with a soft, let's put that over there. You go with a soft pencil. There's so many different little basic tricks. You use one of the black pencils, one of the B pencils out of here, and you do it soft. And then when you flip it over, you can transfer, can't you, by pressing in with a hard pencil. So in these, for example, I know I'm repeating myself, but where it says H, the H pencils, they will help you. If you go back over the line, they will help you transfer to this, you know. So we did that last week, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it several times. And this is not trying to sell you pencils or anything. It's just trying to show you how I do it, because you will say, well, how do you manage to get your two fish, your angelfish and your angelfish and butterfly fish, how do you manage to get them so nice and neat on there? Well, light table, that's what I did. I could also have done it, you know, with a soft and then transferred it as well. Both work, two options. So today, what I want to do, does that make sense what I just talked about? I think you know what I mean, don't you? We can do it again on one, maybe one of the shells, just to show the technique of transferring, right? Light wave easy, transferring a little bit more in depth, but works. So now, for example, I thought today what we would do is we'll start on the kelp here, we'll do the kelp, and we'll do the stones, the rocks, and the starfish. Tomorrow's shell day. Wednesday's shell day. I'm really stoked about shell day. So today I want to do that, and I want to try this bit, okay? So let's get going, shall we? We'll do the kelp first. So I'm going to come in on here now. I'm going for it on the paper. So I've got my difficult, to me, these two are the difficult. And now the rest, I think I can work it out. So I'm going to make see the border here? It's like a sand bed. Look, see, it comes up here like that and like that as well. So that's my sand bed. So I'm going to come over here like this, and because I'm going to have shells in the middle there. So I'm going to come in, this is the top of the sand, look, this bit, like that. Comes round across the bottom. So let's do the bottom bit first. Let's make a basin, like that, all the way along, freehand. Doesn't matter if it's a bit wobbly, it's nice wobbly, it's cool wobbly, okay? And then we're going to come like this, we're going to come down like that, and then up, and then that's going to be all the shells. And on this side, we're going to go up like that and down. Right, and then there's all the shells there. So you've just got this going on. It's just the ocean floor. Yeah? That's easy enough. Standing up for this one. Right, so then we've got that, similar to what I did, not the same, but it'll do. Yeah, it'll do. So now I've done that, what I want to do now, let's just say that I want to put some rocks in to about there. Do you remember last week, or 2 weeks ago, we did the triptych, didn't we, in the woodland, and we worked in thirds. Yeah, well, it's not dissimilar now. What we're going to do is this is going to be the kelp and the starfish. This is going to be the coral and the seahorse. And this is going to be the shells. See, so if you bring it down like that, just to get you some orientation, kelp, seahorse, coral, shells. Cool, eh? So let's do this bit first. You cool with this? Dare I look at what you're saying? You're not alone. News is not good, but all will be well eventually. That's right, Thelma. I know I'm not alone, and that gives me comfort. That gives me comfort. Right, glasses. Let's do this bit. So we've got to do the what they're called, rocks and starfish. So I'll come in tight so you can actually see what I'm doing. So we're going to concentrate on that little area there now, aren't we? So let's come in a little bit further. Come in a little closer, baby. That'll do. Stop singing, Graham. Right. So this is the bit we're going to do now. So there's the boulder number 1, please. Then the one behind, and then little ones to make it go further away. Let's do the boulders first. So easy this is. Just make a boulder like that in the front. 1. Okay, not too tricky. Let's put another one in the back. So we'll bring this one in here. Let's have a look. Oh, crikey, that's a strange looking boulder. It's all right. It's been under the sea for thousands of years. Give it a break. Then we'll put another one here. Oh, there's a moray eel hiding in that one, I'm telling you. And then there's another one here. I mean, these are all... We were doing pleasant fish yesterday, weren't we? When I showed my mum that laminated sheet of the Titan triggerfish, you remember? And said, avoid this one. There was also a hammerhead shark on that laminate, you know. I kept my hand over the hammerhead shark because I thought if she sees that, she won't even leave the chalet, let alone dip her toes in the little toes in the water. She sees hammerhead shark on the list. Right, so we've got the boulders, got the rocks, and we're going to put starfish on there. Now, starfish, I've looked it up just in case the starfish police are in the building, okay? And just FYI, angelfish and butterfly fish, I know butterfly fish, they are also, because I said, well, how come I've seen both of them then in the flesh, so to speak, in the Indian Ocean? Well, apparently they're both ocean fish too, they're both marine fish, even though one of them is a freshwater fish too. So there you go. But I'm not getting into it. They're just fancy fish. Now, let's have a look. Starfish, because I looked it up, they've got 5 feet, but I'm sure there's starfish with 6 feet as well, 6 legs. These ones have got 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we're going to do is make them look like they're clinging. And because we're going to give them a little bit of an angle, right, that will... Can you hear that, neighbour? He does my head in. Right, that will make it look like the rock. When we go to shade it, it will make it look like the rock's got a curve on it rather than like a like a pin board. Okay, it's not flat, is it? It's round. So these little fellas are going to cling. Try not to spit at your artwork when you're doing it. Right, so should we do this on a scrap first? Where's that scrap with all the... Yeah, come on. Let's do it on here first so you get it. So there's a rock like that. There's our seabed, ocean seabed. There's the rock. So we're going to make it try and look like it's hanging on there, right? So what we're going to do is... You've got to do this a few times. They've got 5... Put the circle in the middle. They've got 5 legs, 5 bits. So go like that, like that, like that, and like that. Okay. So you've got 5. Just, you know the way we hover over the paper to give it that before we're happy with where it is. Right. So now, if you move the centre, watch. Where's my rubber? Rubber. There it is. If you move the middle a little bit, from the middle. Like up to here, like that. Okay, so now, what we want to do now, see, so we've moved the middle from the centre, like that. So this is going to, call these the spines now. Let's call this the spine. So it comes into the centre, like that. Okay, so this is curling round the rock, if you like. And you might come out a little bit further with this one, see? You've got to just fiddle until it looks right. There we go, look. Can you see this all right? So now it's coming. So now let's come in a little bit further like that. Right, so that one's hanging on the edge of the... See, this is going to look good. See, and then it curls like that. You'll get the curl. there, and it's curling round. See? Because this now, if you were to do this, I'll do it really bold so you understand, right? So this is like curling a little bit, like so. Okay, this is hanging over the edge, like that. It's hanging his foot down, because they do extend, don't they? They're beautiful things, right? Like that. It's quite a fat one. That's all right. But you see, then the shadow is going to be in here. See, if I was just to put a little bit of shadow in here, like that, then you'd understand this is inside, this is recessed. See? So this is like where the top part, and it goes into the centre. And when you actually look at them up close, usually these lines, they're dots. They're like they're like that. Little dots. That looks really pretty when you do that. Okay? So instead of a line, make a little dot along that spine. You see? There you go. Doesn't that look nice now? If I come up tight, if I come in close, see if you can see what I'm on about. You see? There. So it's these that are kind of clinging, you see? And then the rest follows. So let's try that again, shall we? We'll do the circle. I prefer to have the outline. I mean, you could do these bits, and then wrap the flesh of the starfish around it too. It's 6 of one and half dozen of the other. Shall we give it a go? Right? Let's have a look. So that one, I think I'm going to put that one like on this boulder because it's quite big. So I think I'll actually, hang on, come in here. I think this one's quite large, so I'm going to put it on that boulder here. Shall we give it a go again? So this is really, you've got to kind of just, like if that's the top bit, and then that's going to come round there. So you want to, this one's hanging on for dear life over there. And then this one's coming round the back. And then this one's round there, like that. Right, so that one's round the back of that boulder. There you go. Just do it until you can feel that it's got a bit of flow. If that's the centre, move maybe the centre's down the further that way. So you're going to see where it goes. You'll see in a minute. So if that's like that and that's like that, hanging off the edge like that, then that one's going to come round like so, because they do, don't they? And that one's hanging on, yeah, so I can see that the centre's there, let's say. Right, so if the centre's there, it's moving all the time. Just, yeah, got it. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's kind of, yeah, going to be good, that one. Right, so they do stretch. They're very beautiful. Have you seen them in real life? That one would be nice. Let's do a different one. I'm going to do another one here that's pointing that way. So this one now, so let's just do the V there. Got five legs. So this one's stretching out. I want to put a little tiny one in there as well. So round we come. It's just a star, isn't it? I mean, they are starfish. Right, and then we'll come round like that until we're happy with the... Okay, I reckon. Okay, that'll do. And then I'm going to put his centre there, a bit further down. And then I'm going to make the dots go to the centre. I reckon that'll look good. Let's just get the line in first, Gray. And then once I've got the line in, these are nice to do. You can make a whole border with these, you know. In fact, we may. That looks good, doesn't it? So there's that spine, like that. And then when we go to pen it, we could put they're like little, I don't think they're suction things, but they might be. Like that. There you go. Nice, huh? This is lovely. You've got to respect the sea, haven't you? Respect the animals, respect the sea. Yeah, you see, and then that's going to be dark there, so we can shade that. Because they are like that. They're almost geometric, aren't they? So that comes down like that. Nice. There you go. So you're really getting that feel. I like these. The smaller you make them, the harder they are. So this one's going to be hanging on around the back here. So we'll go like that. See if we can, let's challenge ourselves. See, the thing about this is very mindful. Here we go, this one's hanging on. Yeah, I know we band around. We haven't used that word mindful in here for a while, have we? But this is the quintessential mindful process, because all the time we're worried about whether the starfish is hanging on to the rock or not. We're not thinking about COVID-19, that's for sure. And I've even forgotten about the idiot next door. Oh dear. They were going until about 9 o'clock last night. Bang, 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 bang. But there you go. C'est la vie. This is going to look good, see? Nice, eh? So then you can... They're lovely shapes, aren't they? So we got our 3 starfish. Do yours look like they're hanging on? You see, when we go to do the shading, when we start doing the penning and the shading on Friday, that's when we'll really get the feel for this, you know? Cool, eh? Any good? Any good? It's good, isn't it? Let me get the glasses on, see what you're saying. Hi, Barbara and everyone. Yeah, this is so much nicer. I don't feel so isolated. You see, Marion. Hello, Marion. See, all my mates are here. Look, there you all are. Oh, this is such an enlightenment. Yeah, cool. There's loads of you. Isn't that lovely? Thank you. Yeah, cool. You're asking some strange questions. Morning, bit late on the starfish. Hello, Joy. Hello, Joy. Fran with a plan. Mine looks hideous. What is this hideous? This is not a word we use in the SHAC. Fran with a plan? Fran's from Crawley, aren't you, darling? Right, come on. So we've done our starfish, we've done our rocks, and now we're on the kelp. And hideous, Fran with a plan, is not a word that I want to hear coming out of your mouth again. Wash your mouth out with soap. Interesting. Interesting's a good word. I don't know, you might not even be talking about the starfish, you might be talking about your neighbour. I don't know what hideous is. That's what happens when you start earwigging. You start moving in on a conversation that you didn't hear the beginning of, isn't it? I take it all back, Fran. Right, okay, here we go. Now we're on the old kelp. Kelp is amazing. Years ago, and I'm sure you've heard me tell you this, am I getting boring yet? Years ago, we lived in California. That's where Mark was born, Mark. And in Monterey, in Northern California, Monterey is a beautiful, beautiful peninsula. Okay. And in Monterey, there is, hang on a minute. So I'm going to come up like that. Let's concentrate a minute. I can't talk and do this. But what we've got, right, the reason I'm showing you this is because I've stood for hours staring at kelp, because in Monterey there is an aquarium, an amazing aquarium, like a serious aquarium, not just a couple of plastic sharks floating around. This is a proper educational thing. And we were members of the aquarium. And in the aquarium, there is the kelp forest. So when you walk in the door, if you ever get to Monterey, go to the aquarium. I know it's really expensive to get in, but do you know what? It is a once in a lifetime experience. Forget Disneyland, go to the Monterey Aquarium. Right? And there's this, what's called a kelp forest. So when you walk in, it's just this huge glass wall with all the fish, right? But it's massive. And the kelp is obviously alive because it's right by the peninsula. It's on the bay, and when you look at the kelp, it moves. Obviously, it's moving all the time with the water, but it has berries. You know, because when we used to walk along the beach, it has like balls all the way up. It's a very interesting plant. And so what we can try and do here, right, better you know, practice, practice, practice. We're going to try and get the movement as if the water was running through it, but also we're going to make these balls within. So we'll give it a go. Let's have a look at it first so that you know what I'm actually talking about. So you can see as it comes up here, this one, let's just follow this one thread, right? It comes up, it's got balls, look, see, like growths, and then it goes off like that. And then this one, see, take this one, it's got a ball, another ball, goes, wraps in around that one, right? Balls, 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 and then it goes off. And so we're just going to make it sweep like this. There are so many different ways to draw kelp. This is just my idea. I just thought, I like this. It gets the movement. And we'll start at the bottom and we'll just start working our way up. And we will have to cut across and we'll rub bits out, but that's why we use pencils, isn't it? So what we'll do first, we'll just get the flow going. So we'll come up, watch, we'll come up like that. Don't need any balls to start with. And we'll just go like so. And then this is going to be a leaf. So let's just do one leaf at a time. Let's just do one leaf at a time. And then this is the stalk. Right, there you go. So that's one leaf in. Boom. Right, that'll do. That was a bit weird, Gray. That'll do, though. There's going to be so much of this. I mean, the kelp forest. It's called the kelp forest. What a beautiful name, eh? A kelp forest. Right, so let's do this again. Let's get this right. Okay. And then that's more like it. Get the vein right. Cool. We should know how to do that by now, Barbara. And then if you wanted to, you could, if you chose to, in this bit here, it's easier to rub it out, like rub it out in two places like that. Just saying. And then you can just make, it's like just little balls like that. It will, that's it. That'll do. Right. That's the first one. One down. Right, and then let's do another one. Let's go up a bit further. But this time, right, we'll travel up a bit. We'll go up a bit further with another one, and we'll go across again. So, turn it, and then... Right, there you go. There's your next one. This is like being back in the woods, isn't it? Well, it is the woods. It's a kelp forest. See, so then we've got that one. And then if you want to... I'm just saying, this is quite, they don't all have to have berries, but it adds to the authenticity, doesn't it? They have these little, it's weird. They do. And when you walk along the beach, it's a lovely brown colour. And you get loads of it along the beach. Right, and then we'll cut across. Let's cut across. Come on, free yourself up a little bit here. Don't worry too much about what you're actually doing. So then this one I'm going to go up, right? Let's just go for it. Come on. So we'll do that one. Right, that one's in front now. And then I'm going to come around the back now with one. See? So let's come around the back. Let's make a big ball now. Right, as we come up. Come around the back of this one. You can always rub it out. It's no hardship, is it? Right. And then we'll just put that one there because that's coming further up now. And then this one's quite a long stalk, this one. And it's got bits coming off it. This is going to be this is one of those like massive. What do I want to do? Have a look. So it's just going to be, there we go. It's all about the flow. So then I might put one coming this way, right across like that. Like so. Nice. Yeah. Now you're getting the flow. See how you're getting the flow? And then I'm going to bring another one in round the back like that. Look, boom. Round it comes. And now you're really getting the feel that the water's coming this way. Do you see? And then as you come round this one, what we could do here, don't worry about all the knots. There's plenty of opportunities for knots coming up. We could do another one there. There we are. So this one's up that way. Cool, huh? But the kelp forest at the Monterey Aquarium is absolutely spectacular. And I remember the first time, you always remember the first time you see these things, don't you? And then I remember, God, yeah, because they have different displays. That's why we were members. So you can sign up the whole family. We used to go there at least once a week. Well, you would if you paid that kind of subscription. But it was just such, you could never get bored there. There's so much to see. And there was a open area, and then there was a, what do they call it for the children? Like a pool, like a play pool, where they can not get in, but they can touch the animals, and it was all very, very cool. And yeah, fantastic place. And I remember the first time there was, so they have different like they had a jellyfish exhibition, and that was spectacular. And then the seahorses, oh my God, the seahorses. You can't believe some of the seahorses that are out there. They're just, they look like twigs. They're the most phenomenal. And I remember they showed this video of the seahorses, how they mate and how they dance. And I must have sat there in this little cinema for about an hour, just watching it again and again, because it was one of the most beautiful things I think I've ever seen. And it was just these two seahorses, how they dance towards one another like that, and then they dance around one another, and then they kiss, and then they leave again. He didn't even sort of hang around, you know. He's in and out, literally. But it was just so beautiful to watch this. And I remember sitting in this, and I remember it had a beautiful blue sea in for a backdrop. Isn't that pretty? Do you see what we're doing? And you can, if you want to, you can bring another one through here, right through the back now. I love this. See? And then we could put a few of those knots in, like this. But it was just a fantastic. I'm so grateful that I was able to do that in those days with the kids. You know, to live in Monterey. I left my heart in Monterey. That was the one place I did not want to leave. I'm usually quite easy about, you know, I'm a bit of a. I've lived in lots of different places, and I've never had an issue with leaving. Do you know what I mean? But that was one that I didn't. I was so sad to leave Monterey. So sad to leave Monterey. I loved it. I loved it. It was really quite a phenomenal place. Doesn't that look pretty though? See, and then how many, you know, now this one here has only got that. Look, that's a little bit of a, you'd cut that back, wouldn't you? But now we can use it to add our movement to, see? That one? See this one here with all the bobbles that I've just done? It's quite a, yeah. I know what I mean. So it's all flowing. There's obviously a big fish on the way, because this is definitely... Hey? That was a bit weird one. But it is weird. It isn't like a leaf, really. It is like that. Let's have another one this way. Just a little one. Like that. So you're getting all that flow, you see. I love it. And then if you wanted to, you could flow it through the front. So I'm going to make a gap there now, this one here, like that. And then I'm going to make a little cut there, like that. Okay. So this one now is coming around like that. See? So that's all you do. It's easier to do this when you're working with pencil, isn't it? To get all the layers. This is going to be so lovely. Right, there you go. So that one's cutting across this one here. What glasses have I got in here? Oh no, I struggled with 2, now I've got 3. Right, that's it. Refocus. Hello, Elizabeth. Hello, Andrea. Oh, it's so good to have your company. I think I saw some of those seahorses in an aquarium in St. Petersburg, Florida, many years ago. Constance. Yeah. So these seahorses were absolutely fantastic. I've never seen anything like it. But I'm liking our kelp, aren't you? Hey? Did that work all right? I think so. Yeah, nice. So we've got starfish. We've got we've got kelp. We've got a kelp forest. Yeah, kelp forest. Right, I'm going to put these on now. I'm going for it. Right, so we're leaving this bit. We've got the starfish. And now we're going for the coral. Now that's a different animal. That's a different thing altogether, the coral. So let's have a look what I did with the seahorse. I mean, this is a pretty tame seahorse compared to what we're talking about. I mean, the seahorses on this display and the jellyfish. Oh my God, the jellyfish. Of course, it was all cleverly lit because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see them because they're so translucent. But phenomenal, really, what's under the ocean. Now, this is a little bit of a freehand. I didn't look it up. I just thought that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So let's do the seahorse first. It's easier. Let's do the seahorse. And if you look at the seahorse, it's the shape, isn't it? So we're going to have a bit of fun doing this one, right? But if you look, right, if I take my tracing paper over the top, have a look at the shape. If we go from here, right, and we come down like that, and we do this. So what I've done is I'm making a curl. Look, that's all I'm doing. See that? So you start at the top of the head, and you come like that. Yeah? And then you make a curl like that. And that's going to be his tummy. And then at the end, you can make his tail curl. So it curls forwards. Let's do it again. So you start like that. Let's go again somewhere else. Hang on. There you go. Right, so you start like that. And then you make a curl. It's easy for me because I've got one underneath. See? Like that. So there's the head. Down and round. So let's do that first, because then what we're going to do, this isn't hard. Honestly, it's not hard. Right. That's the key. Ready? So let's do it again. Let's try it, shall we? And how long is he? Oh yeah, let's have a look at how long he is. These are so beautiful. Do you know, and they're not big either. Seahorses. When they change in size, but the ones that I saw were maybe only about maybe 4 inches, 6 inches. Some of them were little, you could get little tiny ones, and the detail on them, you just think, how is it even possible? Right, so this little fella here is 2.5 inches from top to bottom, okay, or sort of 6 centimeters, whichever you prefer. 2.5 inches, 6 centimeters, so about that. There you go, like that. So if we were looking at my finger, like from the top of my nail to my knuckle, if you can get him in there, bingo, okay? So I'm going to put him about, because I want to put all that coral in there as well, see? So I've got the coral to consider, so I'm going to put him about here, I reckon, about there, that'll do. How long's he? Are you cool with this? I'm not even going to look. There you go, 2.5 inches, all right? 2.5 inches. And then what we'll do is, here, make a circle like that, like a little egg, like that. Let's call that his head, yeah? And then what we'll do is, if that's his head, look, the curl is going to come like that, okay? So if that's his head, it's going to come round like that, his tummy, then he's coming round, way, and there is his tail. Okay, so that's his tummy, this is his head. So if that's his head, give him a nose now. It really is like that. It's like a horse. Give him that. This will start to come together in a minute. Okay? See? So this one's looking down a bit more rather than across. That doesn't matter, you look where you like. Right, so once you've done that, then you want to come out with his tummy a little bit. So we'll go back in here, like that. So we've got his head going. Yeah, you've got his head. So come round and then come out with his tummy. Do you know when I'm always saying, levitate, like don't go too heavy. So what you want to do now is come out like that a little bit and then come in a bit, like so. So it's almost like, so you come out like that and then you come in and then you just come round. We can finish the tail off in a minute. It's about getting the right shape, isn't it? So it's about getting the shape, because they're funny looking creatures, really. So you've got that much now. Have a look where we're going here. See? So now what we want to do is we want to do the mane. Let's talk about the mane. Let's do this bit. Yeah? So if we do the mane, what we're going to do is come out like that. Let's just do this. Just do that. Call it a mane, because that is what it is, if you like, right? And we'll make it a little bit jiggly, so as if it was proper, like a mane, right? Then just stop there. Just stop midway, because we haven't got his body. You want that thin. They're thin, but they're not that thin. Okay. Then we'll come in again a little bit further up the head, like that, and let's come round again, like this, and then bring it in again. So now we've got the mane, we've got another curl. This takes a bit of practice, honestly. I did a few seahorses. Seahorses looked very ropey before I got the right one. Right, now, let's come over the top, look. See, so if you look at this one looks quite nice. We quite like that one. This one still looks a bit ropey, doesn't it? I tell you why it looks ropey. One, we haven't got the little tails yet, because otherwise, how would they swim, right? So we've got to put a little tail in, like this, okay? See that one? That'll make all the difference. And then we may even come out a little bit further and give him a bit more of a tummy. So now we've got the mane. Now all we're going to do is make a little, let's make a little, all the way down like that, like so. Right, so that's going to be like his wings, so he can swim. See? So we'll put that in place. Okay, and if you're not happy with it, we'll go again. This, you have to be happy with it. You'll know when you look at it, you'll say, yeah, that looks about right. Or you'll say, well, that does not look like anything that I would see at the Monterey aquarium. Okay, so let's come down like that. That's more like it. I'm going to make it look a little bit more romantic. Right, so that's better. So now I've got the, yeah, you know what I mean? It's coming together. We've got the head. And then when you take away all this gubbins, the egg shape, that will help. Right, there you go. That's already looking better. Give him a gill like that. See? So you're shaping it now. It's got quite big nostrils. Well, my one has. Okay, we'll put the eyes in and all that. Let's get the shape of the body first. How's it looking? Are we there yet? So now we've got that. Now, let me just see. If I was to come out a little bit further, one more, because this is a bit thin. They are, but let me see what happens if I put another layer on. Oh, yeah. Boom. Gotcha. See? So then you just make his chest puff up a bit. Uh-huh. Isn't that cool? And then we're going to put the eyes in. But I'll let you catch up with me first, because I think this is quite good. This looks quite good. This might be a bit big, but who says? I bet there's so many different species. I know there are. But we were so lucky when we lived in Monterey. And I think, oh, and then I remember the jellyfish exhibition. I remember the seahorse exhibition. And the sharks. That wasn't my cup of tea. Right. I think that might look good if we just come out like that. Oh, yeah. Okay. But then I remember the sunfish. It's the largest fish in the world. And I thought, well, how are they going to get that in an aquarium then? And apparently it's a real peaceful fish. It's not I think it's a plant eater. It eats plankton. And I was sitting, and there was another gallery in the aquarium. It was just this huge glass wall, and it was really dark. And so you sat and you waited, and you were waiting for the sunfish, because you're thinking, well, how big is it then? And then it came round, because obviously it's so big. And as it came round, it was just this huge disc. That was it. It was just this huge disc. It was massive, and it came round. You couldn't even see it was a fish. It would just look like this huge disc floating around. And then it came round and it went again. And then you waited another 5 minutes as it went round, because it got plenty of space, and it came round and there it was again. And apparently it was this, its only chance of survival was to just become the biggest fish. You wouldn't even know where to, if you were a shark, you wouldn't even know where to start on it. You know, it's so massive. It's just like a floating town. Oh, and it has all the little fish all hanging onto it. Yeah, absolutely unbelievable, really. Now, let's have a look where the eyes are, because I put my eye there, which I think's about right, don't you? So let's get the eye in the right place. It's quite a long way down. There, I reckon. Put the eye in, and then we're going to start. Because if you look at seahorses, they look like skeletons. They look like skeletons. So it's brilliant for shading. But let's see on my one, see how I made it's like armour. It's like armour. So what we're going to do now, we've made these 3 lines, so we've already given ourselves a kind of a skeleton, which is very cool, right? So what we'll do is we'll go like that. Look, jump across, and then jump across again. Now we've got a third one going on here. Hang on. So now we're going to, but respect the depth, if you see what I mean. So now we're going to go again, like that. Do you get it? Now we're going to come a bit, this is bigger now. I reckon this is going to look so cool. See what I'm doing? And then, right, hang on a minute, let's have a think. So this one's going to come a bit further this way. I'm really pleased with this. But now, at some point, we're going to have to change direct, because they can't all go downwards. So let's have a look in a minute, because these are quite curvy this way. So but in a minute, we're going to curve it around this way. Let's make sure that this line is in the right place, because we could get a little bit more action out of that one. That's better. This is going to be so brilliant when we go to colour it in, isn't it? Let's have a look. Or when we shade it. Let's have a think. Right, so this one now is almost straight. We're going to change the angle on this one now. Here we go. So just what we're going to do now is see how I'm changing the angle so that now, yeah, that's what you need to do. So what I've done is, if I just show you, as you come down, you see all the time it's this way round, and then as I get to the middle, I'm starting to change the angle. So now the scallops are going downwards rather than upwards. Do you see? It's fun. It's really fun to do. It's really fun to do. And you could do loads of them. How many lines have I got going on there? You could do loads of them, couldn't you? Just, yeah. Whole schools, because that was what it was in the aquarium. There were individual ones that were really so amazingly camouflaged. You couldn't see them in the seaweed and in the kelp, because their way of surviving was to make themselves look like their environment. So they were like chameleon seahorses almost, and you couldn't see them. That you had to really stare. And the only way, because they had all this seaweed coming, they looked like seaweed, so they'd have all seaweed coming out of themselves, but it was them. And the only way that you could really detect them, if you stared long and hard, was their eyes. You could just see their eyes. And also, they moved. Although all the kelp, everything was moving, wasn't it? But it was really quite formidable. These little animals, just beautiful, really. Right, and then we'll go all the way down like a skeleton, all the way down to the bottom. I think I'm going to read up a little bit about seahorses. I think I will. I'm going to educate myself on seahorses. I mean, when I used to go to the aquarium, I always had the kids with me, and I'm not saying that I didn't. That's why we went. Like kids, you know, because it's just perfect for children, isn't it? Now, let me just see what I'm doing here, because I want to bring this one round a bit more now. Let me just bring that one round. Right, and then I'm going to... Right, okay. because I think I could get a bit more. This one looks a bit weird. What am I doing? Let's have a look. I think I want to get another one of these going. Does that look weird? No. I think that's what I want to do, because I was just trying to figure out what to do with this, because it don't have a mane per se. That's it. That's more like it. Right, so let's just get a little thing going here. Right, so this is going to be a bit more skeletal. That's more like it. You see what I mean? There we are. Bit of a knobble. They are knobbly things. I never actually touched one, but... And then what we'll do is we'll just make little flicks like this, where the... See? Because that doesn't half look authentic. Just little flicks. That's beautiful. And then I think around his eyes, might want to give him a bit more of a... Yeah, there you go. Boom. It's cool, isn't he? And the other thing at the aquarium that I used to love standing in front of, there was this, it was like a cylinder. It was a huge cylinder, and it was like the Germans call it Litfaßsäule, which is just these, they're great big advertising circles. If you've ever been to Germany, you've seen them. And they had a glass one at the aquarium, and in there it was just this silver movement, and it went round and round. And when you got in closer, you realised that there were thousands of tiny anchovies, and the light was just silver. And these anchovies would all be going in one direction. I mean, what, you know, I don't know how kind it was, but so around they'd go like this, these anchovies in this circle, and there'd be thousands. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're only tiny little rinky-dink anchovies, and round they'd be going. And then as you got closer, you'd see one poor little sausage going in the wrong direction, and he was swimming against the tide, you know. And the kids and I always used to stand at the anchovies and spot the ones that were going, you know, like in the wrong direction. There was absolutely no social distancing in this thing, I'm telling you. But that, I remember that as well, really, this flash of beautiful silver and all these anchovies. And I think what's brilliant is when you do things like this now. See, I wouldn't be thinking about the anchovies or the sunfish or any of that if we weren't under the sea now doing this job. Yeah, this looks so cool, doesn't it? So let's just give him these little knobbles, like a, look, see what I mean? That's what we've got to do, is give him like a little crusty head like that. He's looking so good. Is yours looking good? Are you happy? Or are you going to titivate afterwards? See, this looks good too. Google seahorses. They are just unbelievable. And if you can find a video from the aquarium, because I'm sure that they will have done that too. See if you can find seahorses. Just indulge, because it will be something that it will charm you like you're seldom charmed. Right, so that's that. There'll probably be another one of them around there. And then we've got the coral, haven't we? So that's going to be the coral round the back of the seahorse. Nice, cool. Very pretty. Now, what's the time? Is it already? Well, we're not going to have time to do the coral, really. I mean, it's not hard, but I don't want to rush it. So tomorrow... What do you think of this idea? Let me take my glasses off. Swapping glasses, back in the room. Doing mine on scrap and we'll transfer later. Absolutely. That's what the tracing paper's about as well, Sheila. That really helps so massively. Lisa Shackleton, what size does your pencil extender fit? Standard pencil. This was a present. But it's got a thing on it, so that you can open it up, see, and then take the pencil out, and it's got like a tightener on it. So when you do that, it tightens it. So you could probably put a fatter pencil in there. See, it's flexible. It's my flexible friend. So I'll put that in there like that. Although I'm thinking that I may have to, and then when I tighten it, see, don't come out. So I could probably put in any pencil. Is that what you mean? Let me try one of my, I mean, this is absurd. I would not be using it for this. Yeah, so you could even put your polychromos in there. I mean, that's tight. Oh. But I'm using it for my little HB. There, isn't that fab? Thank you so much for that gift. Much loved, much appreciated. Okay, so tomorrow I've rubbed out my Seahorse about 20 times. I just can't get the curves right. Jan, tracing paper, I'm telling you, that is the answer. It makes such a difference because you can just go and go and go. And you'll know when you get it. But if you use tracing paper, then you can take a piece of tracing paper and you can let me just show you how it works. So you draw it here and then say you're not keen on him, right? Then fold over the one you don't like and go again, but improve on it. And then you fold it again and you keep folding. See, when I draw, when I'm designing stamps or anything like that, I draw on tracing paper and I start about 5 sheets down. I literally start drawing about 5 sheets down the pad and I draw what I've got. And then I rub out and then I get the idea. Then I bring the next sheet down over the top and I redraw it, but I redraw it improved. And then I rub a bit more on there. Then I'll get rid of the one underneath, otherwise there's too much busyness. Get rid of the one underneath, then bring the next sheet down. So I chomp through tracing paper, but that's how, by the time I get, sometimes it's good by the third one, sometimes it takes all 5 layers, sometimes I have to add more layers, sometimes I just, sleep on it. But the point is that by overlaying and trying again and overlaying, whether with a little Seahorse, you could start there and just, rather than one sheet after another sheet after another sheet, you could just do it in strips. Just fold it over. But it's a really good way of improving your drawing as well. It's such a good learning step, But don't give up. There's nothing that time and a little patience won't sort out, And you'll get it. Sometimes you have to walk away and look at it. Sometimes you have to Google. Just go and Google the shape. Maybe you're not getting the shape. Go and stare at a Google. Don't just print it off and trace it. That won't help you. But what will help you is investigating. And you'll enjoy it immensely. And it goes right back to what we were saying in the beginning about escapism. This is what this is, the SHAC. It's escapism. It's a load of buddies all getting together, drawing, having a little project. It doesn't matter what we draw. At the moment, we're all under the sea, and now we've got our curiosity. We want to know more about the seahorses, and tomorrow we're going to go into the shells. Oh, it's just so beautiful. So, today we did the kelp, which came out really lovely. I was dead chuffed with the kelp and the starfish. And he looks as if he's been to the barber's. There seems to be like something missing, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to go compare him with a picture or something, just to see. Maybe he needs it. Do they have crown? I feel like I want to put a crown on him, but I don't know if that's just the stamper in me. Look, I want to put a little crown on him. Why do I want to do that? Look. I don't know, but doesn't that look delightful? Why do I want to put a crown on this little fella? I have no idea. Anyway, so there we are. That brings us to 11 o'clock on the nose. And tomorrow we'll start with the corals, and then we'll go into the world of our beautiful shells. And boy, have I got some fabulous shells and ideas and just glorious stuff that I just will not throw away. It's too precious, too precious. So whilst I'm having a declutter, this is the stuff that I would hang on to, if you know what I mean, because it's the stuff that memories are made of. So, and breathe. Thank you so much for joining me. And Stuart, thank you for your company and for helping. And I'm so chuffed that I've got the glasses that I can actually see you. Boom. Eh? And yeah. Fran, all mine look like that. Oh, Fran's having a bad day. I'm going to give you a call in a minute, missus. Lots of love to everybody. Have a great Tuesday. I'm off to the office for a meeting with Stuart because we've got a plan as well. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Lots of love. God bless. Be safe. Get down in the sea. Go on. Go and have a look what the seahorses can tell you. I bet they could tell us a few stories. Lots of love. Bye-bye now.